out what you need. Tristan kinda bring the vibe like a blazing steed. When we break it down, talk hobbies all day long. Welcome to the party where the convo's strong. From gaming and knitting and fishing by the shore, movies, music, sports, and everything more. Catch us in the groove where the hobbies collide. Tristan and kinda taking you on a ride. Talking about hobbies, baby, every single show. Chilling with the best, let the good vibes flow. Hobby hangers here, time to unwind. Let Tristan and Connor ease your mind.
Well, welcome back to the Hobby Hanger, everybody. I'm Tristan, one of the hosts. Unfortunately, today we do not have Carrot with us. Carrot's going through some family struggles. He's just figuring his stuff out right now. So send out some prayers for Carrot, everybody. That's the thing. It's definitely appreciated. Today, we are not going to be in the Critter Corner, as per the usual, because everybody knows I like to schedule guests that are reptile related, because I'm a reptile nerd. And the guest we have today is one of my fellow reptile nerds, but she is also into a lot of other cool stuff. And we're going to be exploring that cool stuff today. So, without further ado, I'm going to shut my face, and I'm going to let our awesome guest talk, introduce yourself, and tell us what we're talking about today. So, I'm shutting my face now. Have at it, sister.
Hi, I'm Jamie, and I'm with Professor's Pythons. Normally, I breed ball pythons. I'm also a teacher. A lot of people call me the professor, but that's not the only thing I do. I do theater. I also do an event called Wasteland Weekend, and it's a post-apocalyptic themed event, Mad Max kind of style, Fallout, that happens out in California City. It happens once a year at the end of September. It's an 18 and older event. It's a lot of fun. It's a great place to kind of just let go.
This sounds
Uh,
right up my alley. This sounds like a blast.
and people come from all over the world, which is it's crazy. So we've met people from Sweden, we've met people from Germany. My husband and I do it. It's kind of how my husband and I met. But yeah.
Really cool. Really cool. Well, what got you into this? Tell us some more. I'm definitely intrigued, and this is definitely something I wish I knew about sooner, because I'd be going to it.
Um, well, it is a 5-day event. 5-day? Yes, it starts Wednesday, and goes through Sunday. And like I said, out in the middle of California City. What got me into it is my major in college was theater, and roundabout way, I perform at Renaissance fairs from time to time as well.
Yeah.
And I was at a Renaissance fair doing my acting and performing and being a character. And you make a lot of friends
hmm
in that field too. And they were like, "Hey, we're going to this event. It's post-apocalyptic, out in the middle of nowhere. You can make costumes, characters, dress up, have fun." Um, and So I decided to go, give it a try. Being out in the hot desert really is not my thing. Um, but wearing costumes, creating a character, just having fun and being someone other than myself is a great escape as well. Um, so yeah, we happens, like I said, happens every September. And there's vehicles out there, people build structures, there's tribes. If you're familiar with with the Wasteland Mad Max series or even the Fallout,
Yeah.
everyone everyone in the post-apocalyptic era forms groups together to survive. um some of the really cool stuff, a lot of people say, so is it like Burning Man? And I mean, that's yes and no, in the sense that it is an event that you trade and barter things, like alcohol for skills or rides for food. And there are places to spend money, but it's few and far between.
Okay.
Everyone supports each other. Um, So, like, it's overall a really safe environment. Um, that if there is a problem, there is security, and the California City Sheriffs do walk the event. So if there is a problem, they're there. But for the most part, during the day, you can walk around with weapons, like fake weapons, not real ones.
Mhm.
Um, you can drive in certain areas. There's rules and things like that. You camp and you stay there. There's music, there's entertainment. There's a little something for everyone too. Like if you're not into the heavy metal music, there's a movie theater. I mean, it's in a tent, and they have a projection screen of like old movies, and a lot of times they'll show the Mad Max movies and other post-apocalyptic fun movies. Yeah. So I
Okay,
got
this
into it
sounds
'cause I
like a
dress up.
straight up blast. This sounds awesome. So, okay, so you mentioned dressing up, and you mentioned like before when we were talking about this, you mentioned people make their own vehicles and stuff. Can we talk a little bit about the costumes and the vehicles that people are making?
Yeah, so there are, I mean, there on the website, there are rules as to like what your costume and vehicles can have and do.
Mhm.
Um, and I mean, they're very simple, give or take. Like they don't want people wearing denim out there. I don't know why we always joked about like, if there was an apocalypse, there'd probably be a surplus of
Everybody would be in denim.
denim.
Everybody would be. My ass would be in a nice pair of jeans.
um, because of how durable they are, you know?
Yeah,
Um, and denim probably would not decay that fast.
not fast.
Uh, but yeah, so costumes, I mean, costumes range from nothing. So there's people walking around naked,
All right.
occasionally, all the way to people who are cosplaying. They technically try to avoid people dressing up in Fallout because the theme is more Mad Max than Fallout.
Mhm.
And Fallout has a futuristic aspect of it versus Mad Max has a more post-apocalyptic, and that's the direction that the event likes to go in.
Yeah.
Um,
For
so
for
you
those
have,
for those that like aren't familiar with those franchises or anything, so the Fallout universe is set after a massive third world war for resources, and then everybody kind of starts to come out of the vaults about 200 years after the war happens. So it is kind of futuristic. That's why you have people in big old armored suits with laser guns, and then you have Mad Max, which is a cataclysm happens basically, and it's not there's not people running around in suits, and there's not laser guns. It's very much set in a modern era. So just a blip for everybody that didn't
yeah.
know that.
Yeah, and so Mad Max also has more of that survival aspect. I mean, both of them
Yes.
do, but I would say Mad Max is more raw.
Oh,
Um,
hard for sure. Like they got dudes like making maggot farms out of corpses so they can get protein. Like, yeah, Mad Max is nuts, dude. Mad Max is
um,
wild.
it is. There was one guild, so a lot of people, since I mean, there's not a lot of people who are under the age of 21 at these events. Most of the people are 21 and older. But there was one
Probably
group.
for the best.
Oh yeah, because we're trading all and giving free alcohol away usually, give or take. And you have a different if you were 21, everyone has a wristband.
Mhm.
And the wristband is really obvious whether you're 21 or not.
Yeah.
Um, and so like where I was going is talking about the maggot farms. There was this one group who was making different drinks with a spin of post-apocalyptic themed, like, they did
Oh my.
a SpaghettiOs and vodka drink.
Oh
Yeah, that
my.
face. What?
Mm.
Yeah. I think the other one that they had that I remember was a Pepto-Bismol shot with I
Oh.
did not take it though. It was like I mean, there's good stuff too, like, don't get me wrong. There's a group, called Zeeks, and their whole tribe's themed is that they stumbled on a gas station, so all of their alcohol is gas station themed. So, like, they have radiator fluid, which is a blue alcohol, like blue curacao and all that stuff mixed in with it, and
Oh
Um,
my.
there's a whole group, and this group I really like. It's called Apox, and their theme is apothecary, like an apothecary establishment.
Hmm.
And theirs is really cool. They actually there's some groups that full on like play the characters, and then there's some people who don't, who just go to have dress up in the clothing and not. But they have missions where you have to go get um organ donations and things like that. So there's an aspect of role playing, like LARPing there, which is a whole nother funny thing because of course everyone thinks when they hear LARPing, they think of role models.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not quite that. It was funny because my husband and I had a discussion about it. He was like, "Are we LARP?" Like we were like, "Are we like LARPers?" And he goes, "Yeah, I think we are." And I go, "Okay, I think you are." And I go, "What's the difference between LARPing and acting?" And so we came to the conclusion that acting is when you have an audience. LARPing is when you do it for yourself.
All right. That's
You
fair.
don't have an audience.
That's fair. That's pretty cool though. It sounds honestly, it really does sound like a blast. Like I grew up going to the Renaissance Festival, so like that definitely sounds like it's in my area of I want to do that type deal.
Yeah.
That's how I celebrate my birthday every year. My birthday's in February, and here in Phoenix, the Renfest comes this time of year. So
Yeah.
we're looking
Yeah.
forward to that.
Um,
Okay,
and
so you
then
said
the
you said
car.
yeah, no, the car. I do want to get into the car, but I have one quick question. So
Yeah.
you were saying some of them is it like homemade alcohols? Like are guys out there making like homemade brews of beer or like mead or stuff like that? Or is it
Yes and no. So, the whole event there's the activities that the event is sponsoring, which include like the concerts. They have a juggers match that goes on. They have fire eaters sometimes. Like there's entertainment that they focus on, and then like these tribes, they also put events on throughout the day and the evenings. The There's usually a brew your own mead
I
competition
like it.
that you can bring your own mead. I bet you there's one for beer, or whiskey. There's a couple different ones, and it changes, of course, every year. And the activity event thing goes out usually a month before on the Facebook group. Um, and there's the non-sponsored, and then there's the sponsored, um, and that gets pushed out. But the alcohol that most people give out are stuff that they've bought at the store and they've mixed or concocted. There's the Atomic Cafe too, and that's the event. And the Atomic Cafe, you just have to bring your cup, and usually they have one or two choices, and you get your cup filled. Um, Depending on what alcohol, and all that alcohol is donated by people who come. You can bring
That sounds cool.
a sealed bottle, and you just drop it off at headquarters at the beginning whenever you're there, and it gets shuttled over to the Atomic Cafe. Majority of the time, they're not short on alcohol; they're actually short on mixers. Um, Surprisingly, that's usually what the call for is like bring something to mix stuff with.
Right.
Um, but yeah, and some places, so like the Apox, they do some really, really like, in my opinion, top-notch fancy drinks. Like they did a smoked whiskey where they literally make the whole thing there and then they smoke a wood chip and put it around the rim of the glass. And with them, um, yeah, they did like another one they called a lobotomy, which had like a peach ring in it, and a bunch of other alcohol in it. It was really good. But their drinks are more of like enjoy the drink, not enjoy the ride. Like that's
Yep.
what I mean. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
21-year-old drinker versus I'm gonna enjoy my alcohol.
I hear that. I hear that. No, my in enjoy the drinking, enjoy the party experience happened in my army days, and now I look at alcohol and I just get nauseous. So
Yeah, yeah. Um, So, I mean, the best way that I like to summarize the event, because a lot of people, like I said, asked about if it's like Burning Man, and I go, yes, it's like Burning Man, but the angry side of Burning Man. The more aggressive side, angry. I mean, it's all in love and fun. But it's like, people flip each other off and that and say F you, and that is the way to say I love you at this event. Um,
I like it.
it's yeah. A lot of militaries out there, ex-military retired veterans. Um, and then yeah, so it's really funny because last year? No, 2 years ago, there was like an influx of Burning Man people. Um, and a lot of them just stood out like a sore thumb to me. I was like, "Oh my
Yeah, you
god."
could tell.
Yeah. Well, like, you
Because
could tell it was.
I remember a couple years ago, it's because Burning Man got washed out. I remember that.
I think
You
that, yeah, that might have been the reason why. I mean, there's a lot of people who go to both events, but
Mhm.
people who tend to go from Burning Man to Wasteland first don't. It's a different culture. It's not free love at Wasteland.
Yep.
It's survival. And people play that up. Um,
It's a lot
yeah.
like going from the ball python world into the monitor keeping world.
Yeah.
Best way I can describe it.
Yeah. Yeah. Soft and easy from ball python to
Yep.
but yeah, and then they have the car show. So people can bring their own vehicles. Of course, once again, there's rules and things like that. Some of which I think are hilarious. We always make fun of them. In the best of ways. Like, you can't put a certain length of a pointy object without putting something on the end, but you're allowed to have this, or I can't remember them. The only thing I know is I make my husband is the one that puts it all together. I've designed my little motorbike that I have. And then the car picture that I sent you is my husband's
That was
brother.
cool.
Yeah.
That was cool. We're definitely gonna have to post those up on the hobby hanger page so the listeners can see what we're talking about here because that was cool. And I just like, oh man, it made me want to go. It made me want to go just to see the cars.
They have a car show, and then they also have a mini bike show, and then they have a bike show, and then they have a car cruise, usually right after the car show. So everyone can bring the cars up. There are some people who have, their unique individual cars. There's people who actually have replicated Mad Max cars.
Oh no
Um,
way.
yeah.
What's the craziest one you've seen?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest Mad Max fan. It's my husband's event more than mine. I just go because I like to dress up and play around and also kind of be a jerk because normally I'm not a jerk in everyday life, and here I can be a jerk. Um, um, but the one that the vehicle that I don't even know what it's called. Um, there's someone who has, and I think it's an army vehicle, that has this huge, like, banister coming off the front, and there's always someone, like, hugging it and riding it, like, I'll have to send you a picture. Um, but yeah,
Is it at least like 15 feet tall with a V-shaped bottom? Or does
maybe.
it look like a Hummer, like a
I think
Humvee?
it's even taller. It looks I think it's even taller. Um, I'm gonna, like, try to go find it.
You
Um But yeah, there's tons of videos online. There's a bathing suit contest where
oh my.
you have to you have to make a bathing suit out of anything but a bathing suit. Um
Okay. I can so
and it
that's
can
probably an interesting event. All right.
yeah, male and female.
Oh God.
And there's water usually. Which is a rarity out there. Give or take. What else can I say that is out there that's fun? Um If you like dancing, hardcore music, fire spinning, Um, it's dirty. It's dirty and hot usually. Cold at night, of course, because it's the desert, middle of nowhere.
Yep.
Um, there's an arcade. There's
That's
also
pretty cool.
the Last Chance Casino, where you can bet bottle caps. People trade bottle caps all the time. And the
That's funny.
best part is like the prizes are ridiculous. So like some of the prizes are like butt pats, or consensual butt pats, um, or I think I have it in my Wasteland box, but like I won a car. The car that I won is a Hot Wheel. That's
Oh
the
shit.
thing. Um,
That's hilarious.
3D printed
Um,
things get handed out all the time. I mean, my jacket is on my skeleton behind me that I tend to wear. Um, you can go by a different name out there. I mean, it doesn't matter, but I mean, and you like to carry everything on you.
that's legit.
You trade
That's
shit.
cool.
I mean, this is my shot glass that
Portable shot
collapses.
glass, ready to roll.
Yeah.
It
Um,
collapses too.
yeah, it's in there.
That's awesome. Look at that. Check it out.
Um, utility, man. Um, yeah, you can, like I said, you can trade and barter for things. Um, yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
That's so what makes you want to keep going back? I mean, like, it, obviously it's your husband's thing, like you said, but what draws you to it besides getting to dress up? Is it the community aspect of it? Is it just a good getaway for you? What is it that just keeps you going back?
I would say both of those, the community and the escape. It's an environment that the reason I say it's more of my husband's thing versus mine. I mean, it is still my thing. Um, is the fact that I'm probably more aligned, fun, sadly or whatever, more aligned with a burner. Like I'm very much a positive, happy person.
Mhm.
Um, and uh don't I have anger. And that's how my
Well, I
husband and
mean,
I, it's a way
you're a
to
school
release
teacher.
it
I
out
could
there.
understand why you'd
It's a way to get it out, to be a
Yeah,
butthole. Um
there you
and
go.
it's in a productive and or safe space, I guess, to put it. um I mean, I used to do haunts at one point in time, like not scary farm kind of aspect where the mazes, and you'd scare people. And the reason I love that, because once again, I'm normally my everyday personality and persona is this like selfless, caring person. I'm a teacher, so I'm always giving to others like hardcore, so that
Thank you for that, by
when
the way. The teachers they're so underappreciated. Like, thank you for that. Like when I see a teacher, you know how people thank veterans for their service. When I see a teacher, I thank teachers for their service. And honestly, thank you because it's a thankless job. What you guys do is not easy because dealing with other people's kids all day long can't be easy. Can't be easy. Especially with the kids going 6, 7 every 5 seconds. It makes me want to just
oh,
punt them over a wall.
well, my
See, I
favorite
heard
is
that reaction.
8, 9, 8, 9. It's
Oh
my new
God.
response to them when they do it.
I just, hmm. That's a rabbit hole we're not
Thank
going to
you.
dive down. That's a different podcast. That's a different pod. But seriously though, thank you so much for what you do because I wouldn't have the patience for it. That's why I decided to be a grunt because I was encouraged to yell. I was encouraged to be mean. I
Yeah.
couldn't have done that as a teacher. So
Yeah.
thank you.
So, yeah, it's my escape for that. It allows,
There you go.
it's a place that I'm allowed to do that, and or at least society has said I'm allowed to do it.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, even to the point when people out there flip me off, like in the loving way. Of course, my brain goes, "Ah!" But I like, I go, "Yes, please!"
You just gotta hit him with one of these, and then
Oh,
bam.
because you can do I was like, how do they do the L again? There's a way to there it goes. It's it's Wasteland. It's a W. I can't do it. I'm, like, special.
But, I mean, yeah, I can't.
But
Nope.
yeah, I mean, it's easier to do it towards myself.
There you go.
But yes,
Oh man.
yeah. And it's fun making the costumes, and I get to hang out with my husband and his brother, and they're a lot of fun, and I have other friends too, and it's a safe place. I mean, if there's ever any trouble there, it's usually quickly taken care of, a lot of the times by other people.
Mhm.
Um, like
Self-policing in the community, right there.
yeah, yeah, there
That's
was
good.
a person that was causing mischief, and then people were spreading words about this person's description and what they were doing, and within a day they found where this person was, and he was not allowed at the event
There
anymore.
you go. There you go. I like to see that.
Mhm.
People get what they deserve.
Nope.
Well, where could people find more information about this event? Because I know I would like to find more information about this event. Where can people find it? What's a good outlet for that?
Wastelandweekend.com is their
Okay.
official event page. Wasteland Weekend. Their tickets should be going on sale soon. But they also have a Facebook page as well. I don't think they have an Instagram, but I know they have Facebook, and they have the wastelandweekend.com. As well as, like, one of the other cool things is if you guys can't afford a ticket, you can actually sign up to volunteer, and then you work it, and it pays for your ticket.
That's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Man, there's a lot of things I wish would do that. Like there's a couple reptile shows I remember going to as a kid where it was like my mom was like, "All right, if you're gonna go to this reptile show, you're gonna pay with your money." And I was like 11 or so, and I think I was $3 shy of the ticket. And I remember asking the lady that was sitting there, like, manning the ticket booth, and I know it wasn't her call, but I was like, I'll sweep, I'll pick up trash after the event, I'll do whatever I have to do just to go in there and walk around, like anything. I wish more places were willing to do stuff like that, but people got to pay their bills, so I get it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
get
and
it.
there's a limited amount, for the volunteer, but you can apply for different jobs that are there, and you don't work the whole time. Um, there's only one tier of ticket, like, you have to pay for the 5 days, even
Mhm.
if you go for 2. Um, I highly recommend. I mean, some of the better stuff happens on Friday and Saturday night, Friday night, Saturday, all together. But I also highly recommend, if anyone's able to go on Wednesday and Thursday, simply because there's not as many people there. It's less
Mhm.
crowded, and so it's a little more of a mellow, relaxed atmosphere. And you can camp. A lot of people also make their tents, all aspects, or all fitting into the theme, I guess is what I should say. But you don't have to. Once again, you can sleep in your car. There's porta potties there. There's no showers. um, so it's baby wiping it or RVing it. There's no hookups. Um, what else? Yeah.
Dude, you
Um,
got to be willing to rough it a little bit. At least there's
yeah.
porta potties. You're not digging the hole, so it
Yes.
could be worse. It could be worse. It
It
still sounds like a
could.
ton of fun, though.
Yeah, and you could, if you really wanted to, you could go stay in the town. There's a town, I wanna say, like, 10 miles away, but you miss out on kind of the fun of the atmosphere. I always
Hmm.
recommend that people rent an RV, and then just take it out there, so then you've got your bed, your bathroom, your shower, a kitchen, and then you can pull that up, hang out all night, and you're not having to drive anywhere. You're being responsible,
Yeah,
and
there
all
you
of
go.
that
And
stuff.
yeah, that's smart. That's definitely smart.
Yeah.
What would be something like you just gave a really good tip there? What would be some other tips that you would give to somebody that's going out there for the first time?
Make sure you bring enough water.
100%.
That's it
Anytime
sounds
you go into
dumb,
the desert.
but yeah, drink
Oh, it
water
sounds
first
dumb,
thing.
but I live in a desert myself, and you'd be surprised just how many people die out in this desert because they didn't bring enough water, or they brought water but they weren't drinking enough. Like people out here die and they're found with water on them. Cause
Yeah,
of death is dehydration. It wasn't a snake bite. They just didn't drink their water. They didn't drink enough of it. So
yeah,
yeah, like anytime someone goes into a desert, like me, I'm born and raised in a desert. I tell people all the time, bring more water than you think you need. Bring as much as you can carry if you can, if you're going to be out there for an extended period of time. Just
yeah,
do it.
as well as start hydrating, like, 2 or 3 days before you go out.
Oh
Um,
yes.
that will help you, as well as electrolytes and salt and all that. Pickle juice is a great is a great thing to mix with
Yep.
that.
Pickle
Um
juice. Get your Pedialyte in.
Uh-huh,
There
yep,
you go.
Pedialyte. The other one is, wear cottons. If you're gonna wear clothes, wear cottons, not 'cause any synthetic is gonna hold heat in
Mhm.
and not let you sweat. Um, and
You're
that's
just going to
not
be cooking yourself out there. It's not a good
yeah,
time.
yeah. And a good pair of shoes. Good pair of shoes.
Oh yes, that is a must-have in the desert. Everything out there wants to stab you.
Yeah,
At
and
least
then
in the desert
walking.
I live in.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
no, there's scorpions out here. I mean, usually they're on the perimeter, they're not in the inner area, where everyone
Oh, I'm
is.
talking about most of the plants. Like where I'm from, at
Um,
least, all the trees that are native here, all of
yeah,
them have thorns. The
yeah.
mesquites, the ironwoods, the palo verde tree, everything out here is thorn. Even the grass out here has those. Are you familiar with urticating hairs with tarantulas?
Yes. Yeah.
We have a species of grass out here that has something very similar to urticating hairs from tarantulas, where
Mm.
you just walk through it and it brushes up against your bare skin. It just feels like your skin's on fire. It's oh god, it's not fun.
Yeah.
Not fun. That's why I tell people like don't walk through this desert in shorts. Don't do it. Like even if it's 110 degrees outside and you are hell bent on walking through this desert for some reason, wear jeans. Just wear jeans. Just do it. Just do it. Drink extra water and just wear jeans.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. Bringing a cup is a good thing because you can usually always get water from someone or drink, from someone if you have a cup. Um, yeah, those are some advice. Also, make sure you're eating. These are all
Yeah,
simple things, but, like, make sure you're eating, drinking water. I mean, because when you start to party or have fun, you sometimes forget
those
those
things
things.
are easily forgot. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's funny. I used to when I was in the army, I was a company RTO for a while. Basically, that's a fancy army term for the commander's radio bitch. That's what I was. I carried around a heavy radio on my back, and I followed around the commander. And if he got a radio call, here you go, sir. Here you go. But the other part of my job was to make sure that he took cover when he was supposed to, because officers are kind of bad at that sometimes. Drank water like he was supposed to, because sometimes officers get excited and forget to do that. And then eat, because they forget to do that too. So it's always
Yeah.
good to have a nanny with you in some of those situations, just to say, hey, drink this. Just drink.
Yep, that's what I was the year that I volunteered. That I was volunteering for my ticket. I was, on nanny duty for the war boys, um, who were up on
War
top of
boys,
the
I like it.
the rig. So I had to go running up there and go, "Okay, who wants a popsicle? Have you had your water? Have you had your water? Need a
Right
popsicle? What
on.
flavor do you want?
Yeah.
You need a protein bar? Okay."
Was there any spray painting of the teeth and yelling "Witness me" while they were on
Yeah,
top of the rig?
that happens a lot. That that happens a lot, yes.
Yes. I wanna be that guy. Let me
You
go.
can volunteer to do those things
I'll
for
do
your
it.
ticket.
Oh,
Or you could
but
just come and do it yourself too. Like there are people who do that as well. And that ride on the vehicle with the man, whatever his name is, Immortal Joe. There we go.
oh, yep, Mortal Joe, a Morton Joe or something like that. And then he has two sons. What are his sons' name? There's Scrotus. They're both weird.
Yes. Yeah.
There's,
Scrotus is
there's
definitely one of them.
they're both, and then he has that weird like horn cod piece on him. Like even in the video games, he's weird looking. In the novels, he sounds weird. In all the cinema that he's been at, he's just weird every time.
So basically, this event started with the creator. His name's, well, there's two of them, but now there's one, or there was two, and now there's one. Jared, he loved the films, and it was like this just fan, like, I'm gonna put this event on, and it's been that way ever since. Just has gotten bigger and bigger. Yeah.
All right, so she told me what the other one was. It was Scrotus, and what was the other one?
Erectus.
Erectus.
Or rictus.
Or Rictus? Rictus. No, it's
Rictus?
Rictus. Like
There's three of them.
there's three of them?
I'm pretty sure.
Good lord.
So one year, our camp, like, so sometimes everyone like plays pranks on each other's areas. And one year, someone that hopefully knew us, if not, they made our day, in the middle of night, came to our camp and put little tiny carved wood pieces, carved the word fuck all over our camp. And then is the next day we got one that said kisses, and then the following day we got one that said hugs. So that was some nice aftercare.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So and we've done other pranks that I am not allowed to talk about. So
That's okay. What's that happens in the desert sometimes needs to stay in the desert.
Yeah.
That's okay.
yeah.
That's why Vegas is in a desert.
Yeah. Baby wipes. That's also another important key if you don't have a shower. Please bring like baby wipes and like talcum powder.
Yeah, don't be out there stanking.
Some people.
Take care of yourself.
Some people.
I believe it. I believe it, sister. Like I said, when I was out there running around chasing my commander through the woods of Louisiana, some of those dudes out there I was working with stank, and there was a time where I had to throw a wad of baby wipes at my commander and go, "Sir, you need those.
Here you go.
You need that. You need that." I won't say his name though, because I'm sure he's gonna listen to this and hit me up later and go, "You son of a bitch." You made me look bad.
And then for those that are like more calm, I guess, they have tea. Like there's one group that does tea in the
Yeah.
daytime. There's
Wasteland
yoga.
tea.
They're all
Yoga.
called yeah, they're all
Wasteland
called
yoga.
Wasteland Yoga. It's like rise and
Interesting.
it's weird. But yeah, there's more calm stuff too. I like a couple years ago we did an event where it was like bring your own stuffed animal and turn it into a
Oh my.
wasteland stuffed animal.
Oh my. I bet that got wild. I bet
Yeah.
that got wild.
I bought myself, my husband, and his brother the keychain capybaras, and let's just say all of them have phallic symbols.
Oh no.
Now. Little 3D printed ones that we received while we were there. Mine glows in the
this is
dark.
great.
Um,
Oh my god. The more you describe this, the more it almost sounds like the gathering of the juggalos. Like, this is hilarious. This is
it's a fun event. It's a fun event where you get to know new people, and there's usually people there are not super sensitive. It's changed a little bit with the way our community or our society is in that direction, but not it's not an extreme. It's closer to where it was before we became very PC. That's what I should say.
There you go. That's something I have to wash myself with because, like, as a grunt, let's just say my vocabulary is very colorful. And because I worked with people from all around the country and all around the globe, I gained a skill to be able to offend any race, religion, creed, or ideology out there. So I have to be very, very cognizant of what I say a lot of the times, especially on this podcast. Especially when I was on Kat's podcast, I was told I had to be PG on her podcast, and that was like walking on eggshells for me. Like, no, don't say that. Don't, you're gonna get in trouble for that. Yeah, it's like navigating a labyrinth sometimes. That's why I like those places where, like you were describing, where you can just go out there and just have fun, let loose, flip somebody off, and have it be a sign of endearment rather than a let's throw hands because you just flipped me off.
Yeah.
And that's especially if you live like in a big city. Like I feel like if you're in an environment like Phoenix or New York or LA, where everybody's just so pissed off at each other all the time in these cities, man. All the time. And like the smallest thing could spark someone to want to fight you or something stupid. It's just the times we live in. And I think we need more opportunities where we can just go out and just let go and not have to worry about shit like that. I think
Yeah,
it's
and to be able to communicate about it too. Like
100%. That's something that
or
we've
walk away.
lost. Yeah. Like I feel like we have lost that ability as society, is
Mhm.
communication and the ability to know, you know what? I'm just gonna walk away because this is stupid. I I know people that I grew up with that threw their lives away over a Facebook post. Like why?
Yeah.
Why? At the end of the day, does it really matter? Like
Yeah.
let's just forget about all the dumb shit that just happened and let's go have fun. That's what really matters at the end of the day. Let's go have fun because
Agreed.
I feel like our society is focused way too much on the negative of everything, and we've forgotten how to find positive in a lot of things. That's one
Yeah.
of the reasons we started this podcast. Is it's to help people find something positive in their lives. I feel like way too many people out there just sit and scroll through this thing all day long, and their algorithm is just throwing nothing but stuff that pisses them off all day
Yeah.
long. Like I don't care what your political stance is. I don't care what, like any of your ideology is. The algorithm's going to throw stuff at you to piss you off all day long. Why? Why? Why let it? Why let it? Why not go out to an event like Wasteland? Why not go to the Ren Fair? Why not go to a reptile show where almost everybody's there for the same reason, to have fun? That sounds like a way better time than sitting on this phone and scrolling through stuff that just pisses me off all the
Yeah.
time.
Totally agree.
All the time. It's nuts. Well, let's talk about some other cool stuff, because like we mentioned at the beginning of the show, you're not just into the Wasteland stuff. You like the Ren Fair. I also mentioned I like the Ren Fair a lot too. So I have to ask, this is something that I ask everybody that I know who also goes to the Ren Fair. Do you dress up?
Yeah. Yeah. So I first was going to the Ren Fair as a patron, so paying for a ticket and going in and shopping and playing and having fun.
Mhm.
And when that was in college, and when I was there, I was approached about, hey, do you want to come play every weekend? And be a character and all that stuff. And I was like, sure. So um, I came back a couple more times. And then the following year, I saw that they were having auditions on their website, the one that's out here. Um, or not the one, but one of the ones out here.
Yeah,
There's
you're in Texas, aren't you?
no California.
California. Okay, I know Texas has two shows, and I know California has two shows.
They California has one, two, three, four,
Oh
four,
wow,
maybe
wow.
more, five. But there's two really big ones here in California, and then there was two like middle ones. And then there's Big Bear that has theirs from time to time. I mean, California's huge, so
Oh yeah,
you've got
it
Northern
is
California and Southern California.
100%. I mean, I always like to split it up into three. You go North Cal, and then
Okay.
you got that chunk right there in the middle, Mid
That's
Cal, and then South Cal.
hmm
That's how I've always split it up because I'm in Arizona. We're practically neighbors. So
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so there's really two, well, there was three down in Southern California. Escondido, um, uh, Pleasure Fair, which is Irwindale Dam. And then there's the third one, which is or was Coronaburg. Coronaburg is on pause right now because they're trying to find a new site. Southern is still going on. Escondido goes on. Escondido usually goes on for 2 weekends, twice a year. Um, Irwindale, Santa, which I call Southern, um, is their rehearsal starts in March. They open in April and go through April halfway through May. I used to do that one pretty regularly. And that's the one when I'm usually talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Um, so anyhow, when I got to auditioning, I auditioned. I got cast as the mayor's wife, which is part of their
cool.
main cast. Not the role that I was wanting, but I at that point in time in my life, I was like, I just want to take anything, I'll take it. Um, and I got cast in that role. They costumed me with their costume department. I had performances on stage as well as if you've ever gone to a Renaissance fair, there's people that walk around that are called themed characters. So kind of like Disneyland for those people who are watching, where or even Universal, the actors that walk around and pretend to be the Disney characters like Maleficent, Belle, Ariel, those face characters or even the costume like ones, but the costume ones don't talk. Um, it's another aspect, but even more so at Ren Fair. They're not, the Renaissance Fair, you don't necessarily have a a handler like they do at
Yeah.
Disney. Um, your handler, if you are a character, is just another character. It's another person that's with you. You go out in pairs and you make sure that you're always in tandem just in case something were to happen. Um, so I did that as the mayor's wife. Ideally, I still had in the back of my head wanting a different role that I wanted. That first year, this is public knowledge. That first year, the character that I played, the mayor's wife, she was a dumb blonde. Um,
Oh,
that was the hostess with the mostest, dumb blonde, which is really difficult to play. Like, I will especially when you're smart. When you're smart, it's really
it has to
hard.
come naturally. It just has to. That's just one of those things that's just got to come naturally.
Well, I played it really well because quite okay, so the one other thing is a lot of people at the Renaissance Fair, there's 2 groups. Well, there's more than 2 groups, but 2 groups of performers there. There's once again, just like Mad Max, there's people who come and are themselves just in a
Mm.
Renaissance outfit and that are performers. I'm not talking about patrons. That's a totally different ballgame. Um, and then there's people who are actors and play a character. A lot of the older generation tends to be in this category of they live the life. They don't brush their teeth all the time. They
Yeah.
um so sometimes I would go backstage and people would be condescending to me. And be like, "Oh, oh, you're so special. Like, oh, you're so smart. You got that out there." And I would drop character and I would look at them and I go, "Yeah, thank you. I have a degree in theater. Um, I appreciate you. My GPA is da 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 da." Da." And they would have a moment of like this conflict. Um, but it gets exhausting because like when people would crack jokes at you that are very witty, as a dumb person, I had to play like I didn't get them. Um,
Oh
and
God,
I'm
that would bug the crap out of me because I just want to fire back with something
exactly,
in my
and
nature.
I'm very witty and snarky and all that jazz. And I mean, I teach middle schoolers, and there's a reason why I teach middle schoolers is I'm really good. I'm really good with sarcasm. Um,
You can keep up with it.
Yes.
Oh
So when they're
god.
snarky towards me, I can be snarky back. I don't do it all the time, but yes, occasionally I will jab back. Especially with the ones that are constantly going like this, and I've told them to stop. And I just do it once, and the whole class goes, "What?" Um, but anyhow, Mayor's Wife, it was fun. It was a great way to get into it. And then the next, I asked to step down from that role for the following year, just because I just had a hard time handling being dumb all the time, and also being kind of prim and proper. Um, that gets exhausting as well. Wearing a huge hoop skirt and a corset
God,
and
I bet.
um and
I
wanting to
bet.
play. I'm not the type who, like, when I was a kid, I wasn't wearing princess dresses. I was hunting bugs and playing in the
Yeah,
dirt, looking for animals and
like my kid. Yeah. My daughter is the same way, and I'm so proud of her. So proud of her.
So then the following year I joined a guild, which were the washerwomen. So they were peasant, like, and they sing songs
I
and
know exactly who you're talking about. They
you're
have a show here in Arizona.
so no, I'm not part of that group. So sorry, I should
Different.
be there's your group that does go to the Southern Fair. They go to all fairs, and there's actually a whole group of them. It's normally like when they do their shows, it's two of them, but they
Mhm.
rotate who those two are depending on the location. But
Gotcha.
yes, they do go to the Arizona show and perform out there. Um, and
They're hilarious. I love them.
Yeah, they're funny, and a lot of people always confused. It's I shouldn't say washerwomen. I joined Saint Minerva, which is the general guild, not the washerwomen stage performers.
Okay.
Um, yeah. Um, didn't really care for that, but I made a lot of friends. Actually, I made a lot of friends with them my first year as mayor's wife, and that's how I moved into their group. But I didn't really care for that role, so then I bounced from that group. Um, what did I do the next year? Oh, I auditioned again. Was still in hopes of my dream role, which I haven't said or mentioned yet, of course. Um,
No, I got
um,
one too. I got a dream role too. We'll have to talk about that for sure.
okay, okay. So Washerwoman bounced from that group. And I went to Kids Kingdom when I auditioned. They cast me as a story tale princess. Once again, I was like, nope, not feeling this. Um, and so then after that, um, I I following year I just helped backstage, painting set pieces, helping organize, did a little directing, and took the year off. Um, and I proceeded to audition with the same, so the company that does it out here, the Pleasure Fair does it out in Kenosha, Wisconsin, as well as Tuxedo Park in New York. Um, and so I took a weird leap because I was in a weird spot in my life and flew out to Kenosha, and auditioned, and I ended up getting cast in the role that I wanted the first year that I auditioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really drew me in, and the role that really drew me in, I'll have to send you some pictures. Um, they're called the Fantasticals. They're uh they play the mythical creatures and beasts and myths of the time. Um, the group, the characters don't talk, it's all silent, so it's all movement. We look like Cirque du Soleil performers. We're painted from head to toe. I was cast as the mountain dragon. Um, I look like Medusa, blue avatar Medusa. So I do not know where Blue Mountain Dragon is in that costume and in that makeup, but no, I do. There's little pieces of it. So I spent the summer out in Wisconsin, doing that. My dad lived out in Wisconsin, at that point in time. And then I got a full-time teaching job had to fly back, and then I auditioned again for Out Here, and was cast to perform the Mountain Dragon out here in Southern California, for that following season. And then I did it for about 5 or so years, and I switched characters once. I became the director of the group at one point. But yeah,
Right on.
so I'm not doing it anymore other than just going for fun. Um, and my husband does it too. It was a weird, once again, that weird like wasteland Ren Fair intersection of people who like to dress up and play pretend in a way
Oh,
that
I
society
do.
is like, yay, you can do this, and you're not
Yeah.
too weird. Um, so
Oh,
yeah.
people like when I tell people I'm into doing stuff like that, like dressing up for the Ren Fit, because I do indeed dress up. I go full ham. And people will take one look at me because I'm, heavily tatted, prior service. People look at me like, "You're into that stuff?" Yes, I'm into that stuff, and stop looking at me like I got a third eyeball. Because if you tried it, I bet your ass you'd love it too. It's so much fun.
I look at,
Like,
I mean, the way that I look at it is, and this is, I mean, partly why I went down the degree of getting my acting degree, and why I love acting. A lot of people are always like, "Why did you not pursue it?" Is because I always wanted to just, I want it to be for fun. I want it to be a hobby. I don't want it to be a pressure of I gotta take such and such role or go do that or
mhm.
this or that. And there's no drive. I don't want to be famous. Like that does not appeal to me. Um, but it was always fun when you were a kid and you played make believe.
Oh yeah.
These are the ways that our world and our society says you can play make believe as an adult. Like it's okay. Like you can still pretend, you can play, you can be something that you're not. Um, you can see someone else's perspective.
Hmm.
I mean, I think
Oh yeah.
to me, I push theater at our school a lot, simply because I think it um, helps people become better people, because you have to put yourself in someone else's shoes in order to play that character. Um, and sometimes, you're putting yourself into the mind of something that's uncomfortable, and you have to figure out how are they uncomfortable? Like, I mean,
I
or
think
how are they
that's
not
scary for a
uncomfortable?
lot of people. I think there's a certain amount of bravery that you have to have in order to be able to try to step into somebody's shoes like that. Especially if it's something that's not normally you. Like for example, so let's say someone has to take on a role of a person, or let's say an ethnicity that they don't necessarily agree with, and they have to truly experience what it might be like to be that person. It gives you a degree of empathy, I
Yeah,
suppose, a degree of understanding, and I think that we are missing a lot of that in this day and age. I
yeah,
think that the divisions within our society are there because a lot of times people are not comfortable with putting themselves in someone else's shoes. Like you really have to start making some really uncomfortable observations about yourself. Like let's say for example, the people like the immigrants, like that's a hot button topic in this country. I'm not a political person, and this is about as political as I get. I'm one of those guys that hate both sides, but this is the way I see it. You'll have people out there that don't necessarily like when immigrants come to this country, whatever reason that might be, and it gets really uncomfortable for that person to sit there and try to put themselves in that immigrant's shoes because it forces them to go outside of their ideology or what they've already accepted as the truth in their own minds. And that's the same for everyone. I don't care if you're right, left, Democrat, Republican, white, black, I don't care. As long as you're a human being with blood pumping through your veins, that's going to be a common experience for all of us. We have to sit and think, wait, if I was born in his shoes, would I want to come to a better place? Hell yeah, I would. If the country I was born in is a war-torn shithole, for lack of better words, I want to get me and my family out of there. But then you got to look at it from the other side. Well, I'm here. I was born in this country. I pay taxes. I work my ass off to get, to get whatever it is that I have. And then from a lot of these people's perspective, the government just gives everything to whoever crosses the border. When you sit and you put yourself in other shoes, it can really get uncomfortable. It can really get uncomfortable, especially when you're being truthful with yourself and you're not denying those facts that you're finding in your head. It it's a scary thing for a lot of people, and I think just a lot of people aren't brave enough to do it. That's just
Yeah.
my opinion.
No, I completely understand and agree with that. It's a reminder that, one thing I constantly, remind my students as well as myself is that we're all human. We
Mhm.
we we all have more in common than not. We all feel emotions, we all go through those things, and and that's where compassion and trying to find a middle ground and trying to find compromise on both sides and trying to figure it out together is a important thing. And that, I mean, that's how I view people, is that you're a human being.
Mhm.
We have differences, and that's what makes us beautiful, is that we're all different. Um, and I wouldn't want to live in a world of clones of one person
I
or
agree.
another, because that's what, differences also make us grow. They also make things interesting. There's so much. So
I agree with you, but I think I would like to live in a world where we can accept that our differences are a part of us and that we shouldn't have to erase some of those parts of us to make other people more comfortable. Do you get where I'm coming at here?
yeah, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
I, but there's just so much nuance, so that's what makes this really hard. Is that there's so much nuance, there's so much. Well, look at it from my point of view, and it's just hard. It's really hard. We're getting really philosophical here. I did not think we'd take this turn. I apologize.
It's all good. It's all good. It's part of the world we live in, and talking about these events as being escapes, and ways to kind of process that stuff. And there's also, you meet a lot of people, different people at this events, and not judging books by their cover.
Yeah.
Um, and I think, you know, uh, like I touched on with the being a kid and being allowed to play and have that freedom to um just explore, and that if we round it about back to it, when you're a kid, you don't see all of this stuff that society conditions us as
No.
adults. And that's why, my middle schoolers, or not middle schoolers, they can be mean, and they know they're being mean when they're like, but
Mhm.
that's why, like, my 5-year-old niece, or niece, nephew, if he comes up to me and says, "Oh, you got a pimple on your face," it's not meant to be cruel. It's just he's
It's
pointing
just
out
pointing out what he
what he
sees.
sees. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, and and there is no cruelty there. Um there's no association. It's just there. That's a societal thing, is that we have conditioned that pimples are bad on our face. I mean, bacteria, yes, but
Yeah.
still, but not necessarily, because pimples do also come from hormones, which is something that you can't control. Um,
Lots of nuance. There's lots of nuance, and the
yeah.
kids that age don't understand it. Like I remember being that age, dude. I remember getting a pimple and thinking it was the end of the world. I had to show up to school with this volcano on my face. No. And then I remember getting picked on because everybody's like, "Ew, you're gross. You don't shower." I take 2 showers a day and wash my face at least 3 times a day. All right, I am clean. You don't know me. It's my hormones. Oh, I hated that.
But yeah, so I mean, just going full circle to being a kid and having that sense of freedom, with pretend, and being able to go to these events like Wasteland and Renaissance fairs, and being to be able to be free in a way, that is accepted, by society.
Well, Jamie, I think we should turn this to a positive Like we should end on a positive note. I
Okay.
think we should get into our dream roles. Now we'll do a little game here. Now based off of our interaction and our conversation, what do you think I'm dressing up as when I go to the Ren Fest? Like what kind of participant would you say I am?
I don't want to guess because I feel like I'm going to be stereotyping you.
No, please do, because I want to know what the stereotype's different almost every time I ask. So please send it.
Really?
I want to. Yes, I get a different answer every time.
Okay, so let me sit here and can I ask you a couple questions before?
Shoot. Let's make
Okay.
this interesting.
Okay. How many years have you been going to Renaissance fairs?
I'm 27 years old. I've been going since I was 8.
Okay. Do you play any video games and what are they?
I play Skyrim. I play Fallout. I play Borderlands. I play Fable, stuff like that.
Okay.
Oh, and Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I like that.
Okay. Okay. And then have you or do you play Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh yes, yes indeed.
Okay. All right. So I am gonna say I process elimination, you do not dress up like a warrior. Is that correct? Or do you dress up like a warrior? Did I fail flat on my face? You dress up as a warrior. Okay, well,
Well, I guess you could call it like a Scottish rogue. Is
that's
basically
what I
like
was
my
gonna
best
say, is
description.
you are more of a rogue, and if you are out of left field, like a mage, um, I could see you
Yeah.
doing a mage. I don't see you as warrior, I see you as rogue, just from our conversation and the fact that you have an inkling towards animals. Um, but like, yeah, yeah, and especially because 'cause you're a grunt too. But I see you
Yeah.
being more sneaky than up in your face warrior, if that makes more.
That's my loadout. My weapons would agree with you. I'm getting that nerdy. Yeah. So I got a I got a family accurate tartan
Okay,
for my lineage. Oddly enough, it's purple, which is sick. So it makes me look even cooler. It's like a dark purple mixed with some other stuff. I keep a English dagger and a Scottish dirk with the big
okay,
one. And
nice.
I got a blade on each hip, and then I got the like period appropriate doublet. It's a black one that
Okay.
I wear, or no, a jerkin, not a doublet.
It's a
It's
jerkin,
a-
yeah.
yeah, I
Figured as
got
much. I
that.
was like, unless you're just wearing a vest.
There was one year I did that, but I'm not gonna do that again because I was cold. Um, yeah, so I got that, and then I have a black cloak. I got period appropriate boots. I got like leather arm guards with spikes coming out. Those are pretty sick. And then this year I'm gonna paint my face. I'm gonna do the historical Scottish blue war paint,
Okay.
Celtic blue war paint. But yeah, that's it. And then you kind of nailed it on the head, like rogue, sneaky. I'm not gonna like run up in your face with a battle axe. I'm gonna sneak up, stab you in the gut, and then take your purse and go buy some beer. Like that's my persona at the Ren Fest.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So,
my all right, so dream role though. What do you think my dream role? If I was like gonna be like a hardcore participant, what do you think my dream role would be? Because I definitely have one, and I've wanted to do it ever since I was like this tall. So
oh, one of the
it's
jousters?
what. Yes, you got it right on that. Of course. Dude. I so I grew up riding horses. I grew up riding in rodeos, and every time I saw those guys jousting, I said to myself, I said, I can do that. I can do that. I know how to ride. I know. Well, I ended up making friends with a guy who works at Medieval Times. It's a place where like you can come
Yeah,
sit down, eat a turkey
we
leg,
have
drink
one.
some beer, and watch these guys joust. You got yeah. One of my high school friends works there, and he's one of the jousters. And I started picking his brain. Holy shit! Was I wrong? There's all the stuff that I learned when I grew up riding in like Western style rodeos. That's what I rode. We did barrels and stuff like that. I wasn't the kid riding saddle bronc or
Mhm.
bulls because I was too tall. I'd look like Gumby flapping around on the back of that bull. Just be bad. But yeah, there's so much that goes into being able to joust. Like you have to be able to put on the armor the right way. And even the modern armor, when like these guys are they're not even going ham, like trying to kill each other like they did back in the day. Like if you have to put on this armor the correct way, you do not put on this armor the correct way, you could get hurt bad. And on top of that, your horsemanship, completely different ball game when it compares to Western riding. Completely different ball game. These horses, when you're riding Western style, your horses are more attuned to the reins, right? Well,
Yeah.
when you're riding a war horse, and that's what these horses are, they are still bred in the traditional style, with the exception of these things trying to bite your face off and mash you into the dirt. They, God, they're so hard to describe. They're more attuned to your knee pressure and your thigh pressure. So when you want to steer this horse, you got to use your legs much, much more than you would use the reins. Reason for that being is you were manipulating a shield in some cases, and then you got your lance. Yeah, like so you don't really want to be dicking around with the reins. These horses,
Well, and then
they're
on top of it
trained
too, they're trained to run at
other
another
horses.
horse with a weird shaped thing on it, like
Hmm.
with a
Well,
mounted
that's why a lot of them
armor.
have blinders. Yeah. A lot of these horses, when you look at their armor, the faceplate armor, mostly from Polish, like the winged hussars from Poland, if you look at their horses' armor, their faceplates
Mhm.
cover the eyes completely. So the
Yeah.
horse doesn't see what it's charging at.
Okay.
It only has peripheral vision, if that, and sometimes they blind the horses completely, so it's only responding to the
To your
rider's
knees.
commands. Yeah. The completely different ballgame. I still want to do it. I still want to do it.
The same
Like I would.
people that come out to your fair in Arizona are the ones that joust out here. Maximilian, who's one of the lead jousters probably, is the husband of our the artistic director out here at the Southern Fair. And then her daughter, and the sons do it too. And her daughter is usually Lady Chivalry, the
Oh, I know who
mayor.
you're talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Like the referee. I know who you're talking
Yes, yeah, she's got black and white on, and usually I think in Arizona she wears her little fuzzy hat. Now that's Savannah. Um, yeah.
What a small world, though. That's crazy that you like know everybody. That's wild. And I grew up watching these people. This is so cool. Oh man,
My
this is
favorite
fun.
is so, like, because we got to be, like, characters that walk around before I became silent,
Mhm.
before I became a silent character, um, we would occasionally go watch the joust, and we would sit there and we watch it in character, and so, like, we'd have people sit next to us and be like, "So what's your job during the week?" And we'd look over and
This
go,
is
"We
it.
wash clothes." We I mean, of course, with a British accent and all like this, but we wash clothes, you know? "No, no, really, what's your job?" And we look at each other and go, "Well, if we get away with it, we just sit around and talk, but not wash clothes." But, yeah, no, so, yeah, it's the same jousters. Usually, I mean, the last time I went to the Arizona Fair and when I was watching their feed, they get hired by the other fairs. Arizona's not owned by the same company. The
Mhm.
original Renaissance Pleasure Fair, doesn't own them, but the jousters, work multiple fairs because 'cause they're considered performers.
Right on. Well, I gotta ask because I feel like I'd be doing my listeners a disservice, and I won't leave you hanging because I'll do it too. Can I get a good British accent from you? You got a good one?
Sure. Um, I don't know what to say though. Not I'm not sure what to talk about, but, I just needed to get into it. I, have to there's cue words, and the cue words, help with what to say. I can do a couple other accents, although those ones are a little more difficult, and it's definitely difficult to switch between them all like rapid fire. But yeah.
See, all right, let me see if I can get into my. Boy, love, you tell me where I can refill my ale horn here. I'm a little bit low on the suds, and I need to top me off. That's those are usually that's about as good as it gets right there.
It's all right. It's okay. I mean, mine is technically a mixture of a couple different things. I keep switching in and out between two dialects. Um,
You get a little Irish, and then you get a little Scot in you, and then there's a
I
little
well,
white
well,
in there.
more so England has a bunch of dialects within it,
Oh yeah, it's
because it's an
nuts.
island, so and it's a traveler's port. So you would have slight variation. Um,
Hmm.
and the upper echelon pronounces a couple different words differently than the the lower, due to who they interact with.
Hmm. Yeah, and
So,
I've been told I sound like a Dubliner. That's what I've
okay.
been told. I don't
Okay.
hear it because I know people from Dublin. I don't hear it, and then when I try to do the accent, they sit there and go, "You sound like an Aussie," and I'm like, "Wait, what? I can never win. I can never." And then I'll do my Aussie accent with our Aussie friends, and they're like, "No, no, you just sound like a weird Yank, mate. You just sound like a weird Yank." Well, I can't win, so I just, and then Nipper Reed. I don't know if you've ever heard of my good buddy Nipper Reed. He's photographed every herp in Europe in its natural habitat. He's from the UK.
Okay.
He's got that Londoner accent,
Mhm.
and I always try to match it. And I always sound like an idiot every time. Every time, but I don't care. It's fun. I love going out there. I love going out there when I get my turkey leg. I'll tip them, and they yell "Huzzah for the tipper!" And then
Yeah.
I'll yell my best huzzah back, and it usually puts a smile on their face.
Okay.
I gotta get like 2 or 3 cups of ale horns of mead
Before you can
before I can
relax.
get real into it. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, yeah. No, understood. Understood. I mean, some of the other cool things too is on Netflix. The Ren Fair out here was recorded and I'm on it.
that's
Um,
cool. What?
yeah, it's the show Magic for Humans. Um,
Okay.
and you probably won't recognize me because I'm my blue mountain dragon avatar looking Medusa thing. But yeah, no, I'm on it, the episode, the Ren Fair episode.
I'll just
But
be
yeah.
looking for a weird blue dragon avatar Medusa thing. Go, there's Jamie. That
When
don't
I
hurt.
send you the photos, you'll go, "Oh,
That makes
okay."
sense. All right.
We
Okay.
played games all the time of like how many people would call me Avatar, how many people would call me Medusa, how many people would call me a Smurf. Um,
Smurf. Oh my.
I didn't get Smurf that often, but yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it. That's a little bit of a stretch.
I you'd
Smurf.
be surprised with with blue skin, what
And
a
that's
lot
fair.
of people would. So, um, yeah,
That's fair. Well, Jamie, this has been a pleasure. And I've had an absolute blast talking to you. And I really appreciate you coming on last minute too. That was super cool. You helped us out a good bit.
sure.
Is there
Yeah.
anything you want to touch on before we stop?
Well,
Before we
if
call it
you
quits?
have any questions or want ball pythons like the million other people, reach out
Oh.
Instagram.
Well, I think before we stop this, I think you should show off some of your cooler ball pythons. Because
All right. Let me
we'll,
turn
we'll
on the
step into the
brighter
critter corner real quick. We'll step into the critter corner real quick.
light.
I'm
Let me
sorry,
go grab them.
non-reptile people. No, I'm not sorry. You guys know that.
All right.
I've seen some pictures of some of the stuff she breeds. She makes some really, really nice snakes. And she does them with her students, which is cool. Which is really cool, teaching her students about genetics and stuff. Look at that. That don't even look like a ball python at first. That almost looks like a carpet or something. Look at that guy.
So Firefly, TSK, Xanthic, Yellow Belly. This is Prometheus. But I'm into Xanthic. So a lot of my collection has it in it. Um,
I like it. So what made you choose ball pythons?
They're sweet, nice, easy to take care of,
Mhm.
easy to breed. Um, my brother had them. If you like the dark stuff.
I really do. I really do. I really like melanistic stuff. Not just snakes, like all across the board. Like one of my dream monitors is a melanistic savanna monitor.
Okay. So this is Anubis. He's a super blackhead, het hypo, het TSK xanthic.
Beautiful snake.
Yeah. Stretch out, dude.
That
I
is
know.
awesome. Beautiful snake.
Yeah. Um,
What do we got here?
this
Oh,
is Nike, who is a
that's
fire tri-stripe. She's got something else in her because she doesn't have the extra stripe on the sides.
yeah. There's something else going on there. That's a pretty
Yeah.
snake. I love the ones that have the mystery genes in them. You never know what you're gonna get. They're like a box of chocolates sometimes.
Yep. So yeah, those are just some of them. I can't really take out much more because the rest of them I've eaten. Um,
That's all good. You showed me the cool ones. I really like that melanistic one. That was a nice one. That was a
but
nice one.
yeah, yeah, those are my snakes if you want to reach out to me. I don't have a lot. Well, for a breeder, I have 86 or 80 something. But that's very tiny for a breeder. A lot for a pet keeper.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what
Um,
I got going right now. I got 3 savannah monitors, 3 leopard geckos, 2 chubby frogs, 2 Nicaraguan boas, 2 hunter and milk snakes, a sheltopusic, a caliber python, 2 sulcatas, 1 bearded dragon, about 30 leopard frog tadpoles that are being raised for monitor food, and who am I missing? Did I already say caliber python? Those are something I'm trying to get you ball python breeders to jump into because I think they would be right up y'all's alley. Right up your. I'm gonna try to start breeding them someday. Have you ever messed with the caliber python before?
I have not.
Oh.
I mainly have stuck to ball pythons because of how easy they are, and how
Mm-hmm.
docile. Um, and before I get into any other animals, I like to research them like no other to make sure that I set up
Mm-hmm.
their habitat to the best ability.
You would
Um,
have fun with these calibers, I promise you. If you're successful with ball pythons, I promise
do
you're
they
gonna
come
do
in
great.
full colors?
All right, I'm just gonna have to go get her real quick. Like I'm gonna have to go get that snake because
Or send me a
oh,
picture.
Miranda's going to grab her real quick. They're the best way to describe them is kind of like a calico color.
Okay.
They're not commonly bred in captivity right now. They're still kind of an obscure species that people just don't know about. But there's no doubt in my mind that like once these things get in enough people's hands and we start breeding them as we've done with ball pythons, oh, the possibilities are going to be
Mhm,
awesome. Like once you see this snake, I want you to like take a look at it and then imagine it being melanistic, or imagine it being albino,
mhm,
or imagine it being an exanthic snake because with this thing being the color pattern that it is and the look that it is, being exanthic would make this thing look nuts.
mhm.
Um, they're technically boas, even though python is in their name. They're from Africa. They're more closely related to boas.
Okay.
Um, they lay eggs, usually like 1 to 2, sometimes 3 at a time, and they're funky looking eggs. They look like something out of Jurassic Park. Oh, he's too deep in the burrow. All right, I'll send you pictures later, Jamie. But they I would say the biggest difference between ball pythons and caliber pythons is the size. Females max out at around 3 feet, as to where males usually tend to be a little bit smaller.
Okay.
Feeding is also a big difference. Instead of one, large rodent for a big female ball python, for an adult female caliber python, you need to give her a plate full of pinkies. The reason for that being is because she's a nest raider. Like, the species is a nest raider, and they're fossorial. So they'll cruise into a burrow or a den, say a gerbil or a rat over in Africa, and they'll start swallowing the babies, just slurping them up. Well, mama rat or mama gerbil is going to be gnawing on the snake, but the snake's skin is built in the best way to describe this snake's skin is to compare it to a rhinoceros's skin.
Okay.
And the scales are so, like, packed so tightly together and overlap like scaled armor, like the Persians used to use, that their incisors cannot pierce this snake skin. It's the toughest snake skin on the planet. And their heads and tails are identical. They use their tail as a false head. They'll wrap up into a ball, and they'll tuck their head in the middle of the coils, and they'll stick out that tail and wiggle it around. And if you look really, really close at their head, there's two scales that mimic eyes, and then there's a seam that runs along the back of the tail that looks like a mouth. It perfectly mimics a head. I would really encourage you to look into these things. They're awesome animals.
I will. I've thought about getting a green tree python. I've thought about getting a hognose. I've thought about getting a carpet.
Another thing before I forget. So all those things that you mentioned, they all got attitudes. Most of those snakes have attitudes, especially the green trees. One of the greatest things about this species, I would go out and, bet my next paycheck on saying they're more docile than any ball python out there. This snake has never struck at me. The reason it's because of their behavior. Mm-hmm. When they get scared, they get into that ball and they stick their head in the middle of those coils. They don't want to strike.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even have the mouth to strike. They can't open up their mouth like other snakes can. So they're not bitey at all.
Gotcha.
Like, I love it because this snake is an educational snake for me. I take it into classrooms and I teach kids. Mm-hmm. I could put this snake into a responsible kid's hand, and I'm not going to worry about that snake biting that kid at all. Yeah. At all. They're awesome. I think that's another reason I think you'd like them. They're super chill.
Probably. I'll have to look into it.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to give you the time to go ahead and do that, though, because I got to start on dinner, and I have bugged you enough. But this has been great, and I think we're going to have you on again because I feel like we got some more to talk about.
Cool. Well, thank you. I appreciate you, and you have a good night, okay?
Indeed. Well, wait, before we go, tell everybody where to find you real quick.
Professor's Pythons on Instagram is probably the best place. And no space, no apostrophe, just one word, Professor's Pythons.
Indeed.
And then Morph Market too. But that's not as updated.
There you go. Well, you heard her, folks. Hit her up. She's super sweet, and she's got lots of cool snakes. And if you wanna buy a good snake, this is somebody to hit up for sure.
Very well socialized.
There you go. That's huge in a snake. A lot of people don't know that. That's huge in a snake.
Yep.
All right, everybody.
Have a good night.
Well, without further ado, peace out, everyone. Come find us on social media. Hit up the Hobby Hanger Instagram if you want to come find my grouchy ass. SweetT_480. You'll find me. All right, everybody. Peace out. Be nice, and most importantly, stay sexy.
Breaking down reviews, got the hottest takes. Dropping all the scoop like a chef serve cakes. Tune in every week, you know what to do. Join the Hobby Hangout, we got room for you. Grab your headphones, kick back, relax. We got the stories, true facts to the max. From east to west, we got the whole globe repped. Tristan and Connor got this podcast talking about hobbies, baby, every single show. Chilling with the best, let the good vibes flow. Here, time to unwind. Let Tristan and Connor ease your mind.